Hello everybody, I'm Steve Ninja and welcome to this very random Saturday night Criterion haul. So I have 5 movies that I want to talk about tonight. Actually 3 of these are blind buys. One of them is used, so I bought a lot of these through like Amazon and I think a couple through Walmart.com. So I'm really excited about these. I haven't done a Criterion haul since November when during the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. Actually, the last movie, the used one, is actually one I bought at Half Price Books at the end of that month, and so I only had one movie, so I didn't want to do another Criterion haul. And I was really pleased with the response I got from the first 2 hauls I did in November. They got a ton of views, a lot of comments, a lot of likes. That was great, and then the third one didn't do quite as well as the other 2, but it still did pretty well. So I was excited to get, if I can get like 500 views on a Criterion haul, that's pretty good. So this first movie is actually one that's I think it's one of the most influential movies of all time from a technical standpoint anyway. It's from 1941. The movie is Citizen Kane. This is spine number 1104, of course directed by Orson Welles. A movie that wasn't well received at the time that it was released, but it actually now it's like 82 years old, so it's it's considered to be a classic. It was something used in film class for years. I was really excited about the special features on this, and I really love the 3 commentaries that are on it. I think I hadn't seen this movie since the 90s, and I really appreciated a lot more seeing it this time. And I love seeing these the commentaries on it. Roger Ebert does one. The late Roger Ebert, one of my idols. As a film critic. It also has Peter Bogdanovich. He's actually passed away, I think, within the last couple of years now. And it also has like some Orson Welles like scholars, experts that know a lot about Orson Welles. Did the first commentary on it, and that's actually one I just listened to right before going live tonight. So. But I learned a lot about it, so I actually watched the movie 4 times and picked up things that I did not recognize the first time I saw it back in the 90s, which I knew a lot about it back then too. But it's something that kind of grows on you after a while. You see it quite a few times, and you hear the commentaries, and they really kind of sell the points that you kind of missed, and you find out all those technical points. I think this is like I said, this is something that they did in like film school for a long time. Just kind of explaining the different, the shots in the movie. So the second one here is actually spine number 1161. That's something that I wanted to get back in November, but I didn't. But the movie is Wall-E. This is actually one of the blind buys. I'd always wanted to see this. This was released in 2008. It's something that at the time I had heard things about it, and I was really surprised how hopeful this movie really is. I thought at that time, it was supposed to be like kind of a bleak story where humanity's gone kind of thing. But it's directed by Andrew Stanton. Like I said, the hopefulness of it, it's. I think Wall-E's kind of a hero in this, and I never really expected that. I just heard some bad things at the time, but I'm really glad I picked this up. Just like I said, it's got like 2 discs included, and plus the 4K. And I watched all the special features on both discs under the Blu-ray side, and it really grew on me. The first time I saw it, I thought there's a lot to try to remember in it, and then you pick up on those things when you watch the commentaries on it and watch all the special features, and you learn so much about it. But I really like this movie though. So the third movie is actually one I haven't seen since 1990, but it was released in 1989. It is Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. Spine number 97. This one really got people talking at the time. It was really controversial. Has music from Public Enemy, the Fight the Power song that was really popular at the time. I really liked Ossie Davis in this. I thought he was always a great actor, and he's been gone for a long time. But Giancarlo Esposito, from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He was really great in this. Danny Aiello and John Turturro, really great in it. So it was interesting to watch that one of the special features. Spike Lee goes back to that location, and kind of how things have changed a lot. The Mike Tyson billboard is now faded, and I think the restaurant where they did do the right things, the pizzeria has been torn down now, and looks way different. I don't know if that neighborhood really benefited as much as some people would hope, but I think things have kind of changed. I didn't think it was in Brooklyn, so things have changed in that area. But I've wanted to own this movie for so long, but just like Citizen Kane, it took Criterion to release these with all the special features, get the Criterion treatment before I would actually buy them. But I'm glad I did. It was something fun to revisit. After I did Malcolm X back in November, I thought I got to get this movie too, just from Spike Lee. I'm sure that I'm going to buy some other Spike Lee movies as well, but I had to get at least those two. Had to be my first two Spike Lee movies. So I remember Spike Lee, by the way, that at this time, I remember people thought he was kind of nutty back then. Back in the early '90s, people didn't really know what his message was at the time. Used to see Spike Lee at New York Knicks games. I'm in Indianapolis and a big Indiana Pacers fan, and back then, Reggie Miller used to kind of have great games because of Spike Lee, because he would talk trash from courtside at those games. So I think a lot of points that he was making back then really mean a lot more to people now than they did then. So he was way ahead of his time. He's an icon, especially to African Americans. Spike Lee's definitely up there with some of the most important people, and especially in filmmaking. He employed so many people at the time that had never worked in the film industry at the time, and just what he did then really means a lot. Over 30 years later. So the fourth movie I want to talk about has its 60th anniversary this year. From 1963, it's Spy number 57, and that is Charade. I've heard a lot of people say on YouTube this is the best Alfred Hitchcock movie that Hitchcock never directed. And to me, it definitely, I would agree with that. And also, it's something from that early 60s period. It looks like kind of like the Sean Connery era Bond movie. It's got that look. It's actually the person that did the titles in this is Maurice Bender, and he did a lot of James Bond movies. So I can definitely see what people mean about that. This movie starring Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. And I really liked it. I just watching the commentary on it. I enjoyed it even more. I liked it the first time. I liked it even more the second time. But I was really disappointed with this that it didn't have other than the commentary and a movie trailer. It doesn't have any other special features. And I looked on Criterion.com, and I was really surprised that on the DVD edition to this, it actually had two other special features on it, and they didn't put it on the Blu-ray. Just kind of strange. I think it was like featuring like the director and maybe the producer of the movie, but I was kind of surprised they took that out. I don't know if maybe it was the picture quality or something like that. And I don't know, or maybe they don't have the rights to those special features anymore. I don't know, but I don't know why you would charge full price for something and not put more features on it. Even like a just expert commentary or a featurette about people that know a lot about this movie. Obviously, I think everybody involved in this movie has probably passed away by now, but I was just kind of disappointed that I didn't get more special features out of this. Okay, so the fifth and final film in this haul is actually one that's having its 30th anniversary from 1993. It's a Spy number 1105, and it's Menace to Society. This is the one I bought at Half Price Books used. And that 1105, it's interesting that it just happened to be that's actually one number, the next number after Citizen Kane, which is 1104. So that was just a coincidence that happened. But it's directed by Albert and Alan Hughes. Like I said, this one's a blind buy. I had actually thought I had seen this movie before, and I was really surprised I hadn't. Really violent movie, but I think in a lot of ways it's kind of an anti-violence kind of movie. It has that kind of theme of showing violence. There's really no sense in violence like that. And at the time, it's definitely like a product of its time. It has that kind of a Compton kind of like NWA kind of Eazy-E. That whole time period that really popular, the gangster rap and stuff like that was really popular at the time. But I enjoyed it. It actually has a commentary track by actually each director does their own commentary track, because from what I understand, the two brothers don't really like each other that much, or they don't like to work with each other too much anymore. And I think one lives in France or something like that now, or somewhere in Europe. I think the other one might live here, but it has a lot of special features on it, really good. It has a cameo appearance from Samuel L. Jackson and Charles Dutton. It also has was a Tyron Turner and Jada Pinkett before she was married to Will Smith. Before the slap on the Oscars. That when she was much younger at the time, and so but I enjoyed this. I learned a lot about it, and like I said, I didn't realize at the time that it was a blind buy, but I really couldn't remember seeing the movie before. But it just seemed like I had probably seen it. I thought maybe I rented it at the time, but apparently I hadn't. So that's it for this haul. Please put a like on this video. I really appreciate that. It really helps my channel out quite a bit. I probably won't do another Criterion haul probably till February, but unless I can pick up like 3 used or used or new movies in January, I probably won't do one in January, because I think I have to have at least 3 movies to talk about to be able to do a complete video. And so I think in February, Criterion themselves will do like a flash sale. And I usually, when they do a flash sale, I usually pick up 3 at a time just to get free shipping on it. So I still have a big list of movies to pick up, and I really want to get that Baron Munchausen Blu-ray or 4K. I want to really pick that up, because that's would be my DVD upgrade. So really excited about that. I'm a huge Terry Gilliam fan. But that's all I have for you. Thank you. Have a good night.